But all right, Shay, moving on. Let's jump all down to Tuscaloosa, where they are wrapping up training camp here with the defending SEC champions. And some interesting comments here from old Nick Saban, Shane. I mean, he seems uber confident. He seems like he's challenging his players like he always does.
Yeah.
He's challenged his receivers earlier in camp. It sounds like that group is starting to come together a little bit. Continues to kind of harp on Eli Ricks, maybe not quite living up to the hype. I think that's very interesting. And I just love this. Anytime Nick Saban kind of takes down the shields a little bit and lets us in on a little bit of his personality, talks about his radio show. And I just thought this was some of the best comments we've seen from Nick Saban here in a little while. So let's kick it over to him.
So it's like, what are you willing to do for the people around you? Because you're responsible to do your job, but you're also responsible for them. But I guess a better question is what are they willing to do for you? All right, because they have the kind of respect and trust in you to know that you're going to go out there and do what you're supposed to do, down in, down out, play in, play out, game in, game out. So we obviously have things that we need to improve on. The big focus this week is take where we were last week, from a scrimmage standpoint, from a conditioning standpoint, from a focus standpoint, from an effort, ability to execute standpoint, and try to improve on it so that, this next scrimmage is sort of the last dress rehearsal, so to speak, until the first game comes. So it's really important that we can go out there and sort of do the things that we need to do more game-like, because that's going to be the last time we get an opportunity to do at least that part of it. So not disappointed in where we are at all, not satisfied where we are either, but think that people are trying to do the things they need to do to get where we want to go.
How much progress have you seen in Eli Ricks' ability to pick up the defense, and then how optimistic are you that he could be an impact player this year?
Well, he hasn't been able to practice since the scrimmage, so he's got a little, back problem that's not, I don't think it's anything that's going to keep him out for a long time. So, until he gets out there on the field and he continue to make progress, I can't really comment on that. I was not disappointed in the way he played in the scrimmage. I think there's a lot of competition at that position, and I can't tell you, who would be the starting corners at this point.
Hey, Nick, got kind of a offbeat question for a feature on Coach's radio call-in shows. You're one of a dwindling few that still takes calls. I was just curious why get out of it, why you think it's important to do that, and also I guess you may be the only one I know that has regular media guest hosts. Why do you do that too?
Well, I think that most of you all, including the person asking the question, sort of think I'm not approachable, and I don't think that's the case at all. So one of the things that I've always found the radio show to give me an opportunity to do is to allow people to approach me and see how approachable I am. So we let people at the venue ask questions. We let call-in people ask questions. I think it's a good thing for me to, see some of the media people that are actually hosts on the show. I get to know them a little bit better. They see a little different side of me. I see a little different side of them. So I think it's nothing but, sort of an opportunity to build positive relationships. And, sometimes you get a bad call, but sometimes we deserve a bad call. I mean, sometimes I don't think we did very well either. So why should somebody out there not think we did something very well? So, I'm not offended by people who call in. I think it's an opportunity for them to approach me and me to have respect for them and how they support the program.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time.
That's it?
That's it.
So I get to say thank you and smile again?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
And Shane, so I really, there's a lot to unpack here in these comments from Saban, but the part I really wanted to focus on is Eli Ricks. Yeah. And when they added him, we all know the story. Freshman All-American, one of LSU's best players. But there was always kind of a lack of commitment, so to speak, from Eli Ricks and LSU. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember this, Shane, but there was buzz he was going to transfer to Southern Cal. And, of course, that didn't happen. He came back, and, he was kind of in and out of the lineup. He's in and out of being injured. Now it sounds like he's injured here at Alabama. And you may say, if you're an Alabama fan, you may look at that as a negative, that Eli Ricks may not be a lockdown starter. It may not be an all-conference player. Basically, he may not be living up to the hype, but I think that's a great thing for Alabama, because the way I read this, Shane, is they got this guy coming in that's got all this hype and all this attention. We all get consumed with the transfers, but if you are not buying into a winning culture, if you are not buying into the Alabama standard, Nick Saban's going to sit your ass on the bench and have no qualms of doing it, because they got 85 other guys that are locked in and doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And I think a guy like Eli Ricks needs to be challenged like this. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
No, I sometimes, man, these boys that come in just like they're there, like they've already made it. They've already, they're already a team captain in their mind. They're already thinking about NFL.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's the situation here, but sometimes, and that's one thing I like about Nick is the tough love he's willing to deliver. Mm-hmm. If he feels like you are not playing up to your potential, he's the first one to hold your feet to the fire. And if it causes you to sit them out, you sit them out, because when they come in, when they realize that opportunity can easily be taken away, then you're going to get more out of them. Some kids just need it. It's, I've raised two girls, man, and they're two totally different. So one, you raise it, it's more nurture, you got to be there. A lot of emotion, trust me. That's why I'm bald, Mike. But the other one was more of a, just, you got to tell them what to do. And that's what they needed. So I didn't know if you came on this podcast for parenting advice, but that's kind of what Nick is doing here. Nick is being a father, and he's saying, hey, son, you ain't getting it, so we got to get you right. And that's kind of what I feel like's happening here.
Right. Yeah, we love Coach O to death. The 2019 LSU team, maybe the greatest team of all time, but obviously there's a difference between Alabama, the consistency, and the damn roller coaster they experienced in Death Valley. I think players thrive on the message down there at Alabama, and that's why they've been so damn good for so damn long.
Coach O is like them dads that disappear for like 4 or 5 years, and then they're tired of paying child support, so they act fun while they come over. You know what I'm saying? It's like letting them drink at 16 and stuff. That's kind of what I get. That's the vibe I pick up from Coach O. Nick Saban, like I said, he's gonna hold your feet to the fire. Your ass better be home at curfew. But Coach O, we're gonna have some fun, man.
Yeah, no doubt.